Namaste, I'm Dr. Atul Rakshe. I'm the Secretary General of International Ayurveda Association. I'm associated with Dirgayu International, Dirgayu as an editor, associate editor. Before that, I was an author and an Ayurveda volunteer, you can say, for last more than 25 years. My guru, Professor Dr. P.H. Kulkarni, was instrumental to take the message of Ayurveda to the Western European, American, and many more continents, especially during last 30 years. And I was really fortunate to work and be associated very closely with Professor's work. I was really fortunate also to travel with him in various parts of the world and take the legacy forward. As far as our contribution to Ayurveda is concerned, Dirgayu and Dirgayu International have been monumental and instrumental to teach, propagate, to make people aware of Ayurveda in various continents of the world. Not only in Maharashtra, because everyone knows that Dirgayu was also published in Maharashtra as a Diwali issue every year, and also Dirgayu International, which is a scientific peer-reviewed journal for last more than 2 decades, has been publishing for every 3 months. It's a quarterly journal. Uh, our contribution to the field of Ayurveda is in various ways. There are associates also working now who were students or colleagues of Professor Dr. P.H. Kulkarni in various parts of the world. I would like to take a few names, especially Farida Irani from Australia, Nina Bailey in UK, Mauricio Leon in South America, in America, Dr. Suhas Kshirsagar and his colleagues. In Italy, Lucia Tomasini, Swami Jyotirmayananda, our dear friend Luigi Pasquini. In Spain, there are many people, but for last few years, Tomas and Maria Salvatierra, Tomas Hernandez, and our dear friend Dr. Fina Mauri. In all the parts of the globe, we have our associates, and we are really fortunate to be contributing in propagation and education of Ayurveda in so many different parts of the world. Uh, Now, if you look at the perspective of Ayurveda to the global situation of health, especially post COVID, the perspective has been completely changed because people are more focused on the prevention and the maintenance of health than the treatment part of it. And limitations of the modern scientific understanding are highlighted, especially after this pandemic. As one of our very dear friends, cardiologist Dr. Fina Mauri, rightly stated recently in our conference, that we understand the cause of the disease. Most of the people know that they have, for example, a cardiac ailment or asthma or arthritis, but we have to understand the cause behind the cause. So, what is the cause behind the cause? Nobody understands, and Ayurveda does exactly that. One of the very important aspects of understanding the perspective of health in Ayurvedic philosophy is understanding the Prajna Parada, the concept of Prajna Parada. Prajna is the wisdom, the inherent wisdom of a man, a wisdom of experience, wisdom of family, wisdom of the nation, wisdom of the science, of course, needs to be followed. And exactly what is missing these days is that we do not follow what our wisdom, the collective wisdom, also suggests. For example, a lot of people, of course, understand the hazards of smoking or excessive alcoholism. Everyone knows that, but unfortunately, there are many more things which are impacting our health these days. For instance, everywhere I go for speeches, I spoke in various countries for the last 20 years. I have been interacting with a lot of people. Also with Professor Dr. P.H. Kulkarni, we discussed a lot of things. But apart from the obvious things which everyone knows, like sedentary lifestyle and smoking and alcoholism, there are quite a few things which we would like to emphasize on. for good health maintenance. And for the beginning of this particular video blog, I would like to say these few things in a very important way of understanding how the diseases are manifested. Uh, Things which people have to follow, especially in the West, where I have been traveling extensively and understanding why people, in spite of having good resources, in spite of having fantastic weather and less pollution, one of the most important things is the water in plastic bottles, especially in countries like Italy, where I have been traveling with Professor Kulkarni for many years. We saw that most of the people buy their water stored for a very long duration of time in plastic bottles. If you know, India also, the Supreme Court of India has made it mandatory to check the quality of plastic. And unfortunately, the quality of plastic, which makes a cracking sound, all the bottles which store the food, the beverages, and especially the drinking water. And unfortunately, what we have seen in European continent. Earlier, it was they also used to buy bottles of water many years ago, but that was a good practice to use. There was a good practice to use glass bottles. In India, we have steel containers and earthen containers. But unfortunately, the pots made of soil are used here in India. But unfortunately, these days we are in most of us, especially our European friends, are using the plastic to store the bottle, store the water, and unfortunately, that is something which releases the microplastic, which releases many things which we don't know how badly they impact on our health, and indirectly, in spite of getting good quality water or minerals into that, we are receiving these toxins. And unfortunately, that is one of the, from my perspective, that is one of the major causes for maybe the new number of increasing cancer cases, autoimmune disorders, degenerative pathologies, and infertility. And these four things are one of the prime most important. These are the aspects of Ayurveda where it can be used fantastically well. So, Pradnya Parada, the most important factors which we could avoid in our daily life is, number one is, do not store your beverages or water, or do not buy anything which is stored in plastic, especially the beverages. Number one. Number two, the meat of big animals. A lot of my friends have been from Spain or the Spanish continent or Spanish speaking countries, communities, Italians, Germans. Unfortunately, they eat a lot of meat, especially raw meat and meat of big animals, the carne rosa, the red meat. That I think is very highly associated with disease manifestation. And these five aspects of disease manifestation, especially autoimmune disorders, degenerative pathologies, infertility, and hormonal imbalances. I think that big animals meat. Number three is one of the most important causes is the refined wheat. If you look at the Indian, the last couple of years, where there is a lot of propagation, the Indian government, the central government of India also said that these few years are going to be very important for the Indian millets. So we recommend and we follow that in our clinical practices also. We recommend to eat millets and grains apart from wheat, and especially the refined wheat flour, which is something which is definitely going to be very difficult. There is a very important concept, ama, the undigested food, which can create slimy residue in the body, and which can turn into the clogging of various channels of the body. And the clogged channels can eventually trigger the disease manifestation. So one of the major causes for the creation of armor, this kind of undigested food, is the refined wheat flour. Number three is incompatible food, especially in, of course, everyone these days in India also likes to eat pizzas and pastas, but unfortunately the milk products and milk products, and for example, tomatoes. Every day, consumption of these things. If you look at the Indian subcontinent, we did not have this much of cheese or paneer consumption in India, and unfortunately, everyone is eating milk products with a lot of spices, lot of salt, lot of meat, and lot of acidic taste substances together, and that is that must be contributing to disease manifestation. So pradnya parada must be stopped. The next one is lack of good quality sleep. We recommend. Recently we published. I spoke about the lack of sleep, the good quality sleep, and we found out that drinking tea or coffee 5 hours before going to the bed, going to sleep, is something which kills the quality of sleep. Number two is 45 minutes before you go to the bed, you have to stop all the screens, because the smaller the screen, it is going to have a larger impact or a longer impact on your sleep, the pattern of sleep, and your thought process, also on your subconscious mind. So so staying away from the screens is at least 45 minutes before you go to the bed is very necessary. And some activity, people do not understand that going to a gym, if it is not possible, then there are various ways to increase the activity, physical activity. A lot of people say that, especially the women, have this kind of this kind of an argument all the time, that we work in the family, we work in the house for the whole day, so we are completely exhausted and we don't have any time to make any physical activities. I say that the basic PT exercises which we teach in the schools, or the very basic exercises like stretches of hands, stretches of feet, and walking especially against the gravity. If you walk against the gravity, climb the staircases, come down, climb the staircases, that is also enough to maintain the weight. So bring down the bring down the toxins, bring down the toxins for mind body, uh, increase the quality of life by adding some physical activity, maybe 10-15 minutes a day, and reduce the chances of gathering the toxins and clogging the channels, is the message for this first video of myself for Dirgayu International, Dirgayu. And I think it is very important that the people who understand what is going on should come out and speak. They should discuss and motivate each other as a society, because I believe that if you look at Indian philosophy, it says Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam. If we all are one family, a family is a group of people, and there is no family without people. There is no healthy family without healthy people, and with healthy people and healthy families, we will have better healthy societies, and probably the better healthy world. So my humble request to you all, please come ahead and talk about the potential hazards of new age lifestyle, new age choices of foods, and try to understand why the diseases are manifested, and why only the bacteria, viruses, or accidents are not killing us, but the major illnesses are generated inside the body: cancers, cardiac ailments, diabetes mellitus, and hormonal imbalances. And these are going to be the major challenges for health sector for next few decades. Thank you for your patient hearing, and thank you so much. All the best to Team Dirgayu.